Let me tell you something that most people won't. Your life will only grow to the level of courage you are willing to live with. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward in spite of fear. It's not about being unshakable, it's about standing firm even while you're shaking. You see, courage is not just a moment, it's a decision, a choice you make every single day to show up, speak up, and step up, no matter the odds. Every breakthrough you've ever had, every leap forward you've taken, every transformation you've created in your life was fueled by courage. Think about that. That moment you finally said enough is enough. That moment you walked away from what was safe but unfulfilling. That moment you believed in yourself just a little more than the doubt tried to stop you. That was courage, but here's the challenge. Most people are waiting to feel brave before they act brave. That's backwards. You don't wait to feel courageous, you act courageous, and the feeling catches up. Courage is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets, and the less you use it, the more fear becomes your master. You want to change your life, you want to build something extraordinary, then you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You have to stop negotiating with fear and start aligning with your future. You have to be willing to be seen, to fail, to be laughed at, misunderstood, even rejected, and keep moving forward anyway. You want the truth. Most people never live the life they were meant for because they fear judgment more than they crave freedom. But not you, not anymore. You're here because some part of you knows you're capable of more, and that part of you, it's your courage calling. Courage says, I will rise even when it hurts. Courage says, I will speak even when my voice trembles. Courage says, I will risk it all because settling is not an option. It's not about being reckless. It's about being real. Real with who you are. Real with what you want. Real with the fact that your time on this earth is limited, and every second you hesitate, you're shrinking your potential. So I'm asking you right now, what would your life look like if you stopped playing small? What doors would open if you showed up with courage every single day, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard? Courage is the gateway to greatness. It's the fire that burns through limitations. It's the voice that says, let's go. When the rest of the world says, stay safe, this is your moment, not next year. Not next month. Now, act with courage and your life will never be the same. Let's go. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act despite it. Fear will always be there when you step into the unknown, when you risk something valuable, or when you dare to chase something that matters. But courage doesn't wait for fear to disappear. Courage shows up with the fear and says, let's do it anyway. The truth is, if you wait to feel completely confident, you'll never take the leap. If you wait for the perfect time, you'll be waiting forever. Life doesn't reward hesitation, it rewards movement, and every significant breakthrough in life happens when you lean into fear, not when you run from it. The moment you decide to take action, whether your knees are shaking, your heart is racing, or your mind is filled with doubt, that's the moment courage is born. Think about the things that have shaped you most, those turning points where something inside you shifted. Were you comfortable? No. Were you certain? Probably not. But you moved, you spoke, you stepped forward, and that's what created change. It wasn't because everything felt safe. It was because you allowed yourself to feel the fear and act anyway. That's power, that's courage in its rawest form. Fear has one goal, to keep you in the known, the predictable, the familiar, and while that might feel safe, it's also the place where dreams die. The most dangerous place to live is inside your comfort zone. Courage invites you to expand that zone, to take risks, to stretch beyond what feels easy. It's in that stretch where growth happens. It's in the discomfort where strength is built. And don't be fooled. Courage isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet decision to stand up for yourself when no one else will. It's choosing to get back up after a failure. It's saying yes when everything inside you is screaming no. It's leaving what's familiar to pursue what's meaningful. These aren't grand gestures, they're daily acts of bravery that shape who you become. Every time you act with courage, no matter how small the step, you send a message to your mind that you are stronger than fear. And over time, those choices add up, they compound, they become a foundation of inner certainty that no setback can shake. Suddenly, things that once terrified you become part of your story. not because they vanished, but because you learned to rise above them. Courage is how transformation begins. One decision, one step, one action that says, I refuse to let fear write my story. When you live like that, not perfectly, but persistently, you unlock a life that's no longer dictated by doubt or limitations. You create momentum, you build resilience, and eventually courage becomes who you are, not just what you do. Courage is not something you're born with in full form, it's something you build. Like a muscle, it strengthens through repetition, effort, and practice. The more you use it, the more it grows. And just like with any muscle, if you don't use it, it weakens. Most people think they need to feel ready before they act, but the truth is, readiness comes after action, not before. You don't wait to be courageous, you choose to act first, and that choice is what creates the strength to keep going. Every time you choose courage over comfort, you condition your nervous system to handle more uncertainty, more resistance, more pressure. It starts small. It's in the moment you speak up instead of staying silent. It's in the instant you decide to try something new even though failure is possible. It's when you confront a situation instead of avoiding it. These acts may feel insignificant, but they are powerful. Each one is a rep. Each one trains your mind and body to trust your ability to face discomfort and rise above it. But when courage isn't exercised, fear gains ground. The less you challenge yourself, the more fear convinces you that you can't handle life's uncertainties. Over time, your world becomes smaller. Opportunities seem too risky, growth feels too painful, and dreams begin to feel out of reach. That's what happens when you stop using your courage muscle. It atrophies. The tragedy isn't just in missed opportunities, it's in forgetting what you're capable of. The good news is, building courage doesn't require massive leaps every day. It requires consistent, intentional actions. Show up when it's easier to stay in bed. Speak your truth when silence would be more comfortable. Move forward when staying still would be safer. You're not trying to prove anything to anyone else. You're building proof within yourself. With every act of courage, you're telling yourself, I can handle this. And eventually, that belief becomes unshakable. And here's something people don't always realize. Courage compounds. The more you act with courage, the more confidence you create. And confidence fuels more courage. It's a powerful upward spiral. That first small risk leads to a bigger one. That first honest conversation leads to deeper relationships. That first bold move leads to greater clarity and momentum. Before long, you've built a version of yourself that no longer flinches in the face of fear, but instead sees it as a signal to grow. So the question isn't, do you have courage? The question is, are you willing to practice it? And not once. Not just when life forces you to, but every single day in your choices, your mindset, your relationships, and your goals. The more you act in courage, the more powerful you become. And eventually, you stop waiting for confidence. You create it. You stop fearing the unknown. You lean into it, and you stop asking for permission. You give yourself the power to lead your own life. Most people never live the life they're capable of because they allow fear, doubt, and judgment to dictate their actions. They play it safe, they stay quiet, they avoid risk. Why? Because being accepted feels safer than being authentic. But here's the truth, you cannot create a powerful life and protect your comfort at the same time. Courage is the key that unlocks your full potential, and without it, your greatest possibilities remain buried under hesitation. When you choose courage, you choose freedom. Freedom from the opinions of others. Freedom from the stories that tell you you're not enough. Freedom from the chains of past failures or future anxieties. And that kind of freedom only comes when you stop allowing fear to sit in the driver's seat of your life. The people who build powerful businesses, transform relationships, rise from hardship, or lead others, they're not without fear. They've just decided not to let it control them. Think about the person you want to become. Think about the life you deeply desire. Now ask yourself, is that life possible without courage? Can you speak your truth, chase your goals, face rejection, and grow without stepping into fear? The answer is no. Growth and courage are inseparable. You can't evolve if you're not willing to be uncomfortable, vulnerable, and exposed to risk, and yet that's where transformation lies, on the other side of fear. When you consistently choose courage, something incredible happens. You stop identifying with your limitations and start connecting with your potential. You stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start asking, "What if I fly?" You stop being ruled by the fear of judgment and start acting from a place of alignment. You become less interested in being accepted and more committed to being authentic. That shift, that inner pivot, is the difference between an average life and an extraordinary one. Let's be clear, this is not about perfection. Courage isn't about getting it right every time. It's about staying in the game. It's about showing up even when you're scared. It's about continuing to believe there's something on the other side of fear that's worth fighting for. Because there's a version of you waiting, a stronger, bolder, more resilient version that you only meet through acts of courage. If you let fear guide you, your life will shrink. But if you let courage lead, your world will expand. Your confidence will grow. Your purpose will sharpen. Your energy will shift. People will feel it. You'll feel it. And suddenly, the things that once seemed impossible become your new normal. So the choice is yours. Stay in the safe zone where nothing changes, or step into the unknown where everything is possible. Choose courage, and you don't just change your life. You become the kind of person who can change the world around you. One bold step at a time.